contemplate on the person only when we know him. Without knowing him, contemplating on him is impossible. That is why hearing, knowing him, by hearing, knowing him, and then contemplating upon him. Like Rukmini is an example. Rukmini always thought about Krishna. She always thinks about Krishna. Why she thinks about Krishna? Just because she has heard about Krishna. It is said, whenever Narada and other sages used to come to Bhishmak, right, Vaidharva, she is Vaidharvi. She is the queen of Vaidharvi, you can say princess of Vaidharvi. So whenever any sages used to come, they used to glorify Krishna's beauty, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's all famous activities. So just by hearing, she used to immediately imagine and think about it. And somebody tells you something, you start imagining. Isn't it? That is how the children activity also starts. How children are trained by making them hear the stories. The grandmother, the mother, the father, the grandfather, they sit and give the story to them. When they hear, they start thinking. I'll give you a small example. My granddaughter went for cutting the hairs in the salon, that's what you call beauty parlor. So that lady, she was telling to that lady, please don't cut my hair so much. She's just 3 years now, maybe 3.25 years. Don't cut my hair so much. She said, in what way you want? She said, the way Radharani has her hairs. She's hearing the story. Right? She says, who is Radharani? And it was the first salon, I think, maybe her luck or maybe the coincidence. The song was of Radha and Krishna. She said, what you're hearing now, the same song, the same Radharani, like her hairs should be. So that means when you go on telling the story of Krishna, Radha and Krishna, they contemplate on that story. They go on meditating on that story. That is the way the devotion is nourished. Tachshunu. Hearing process is very, very important. Then Krishna says, once you start hearing, Jnanam teham savijnanam idam bhakshyami sheshatah yad gyatva neham bhuyonya gyatavyam avashishyate. So now if you have the desire to hear, then I can declare that this full knowledge, I can give you this full knowledge. Jnanam savijnanam idam bhakshyami sheshatah. Vijnanam means experienced knowledge, you can say. The knowledge which is put in practice or practical knowledge. I will explain to you. Vakshyami, I will explain to you. Jnanam, one is phenomenal knowledge. One is numinous knowledge. Jnanam, the knowledge about this whole material world. And one is application of this knowledge, applied knowledge, both. That means I'm going to teach you bhakti also. Application of the knowledge means bhakti. Application of the knowledge is buddhi. And just jnanam is sankhya. There is sankhya, there is buddhi. So Krishna says, I'm going to give you sankhya yoga. I'm also going to give you buddhi yoga. Sankhya means understanding the facts. What is what? Understanding the Jada Brahman, Jiva Brahman. Everything. What is Jada Brahman? What is Jiva Brahman? So that is known as Sankhya. And what is Buddhi Yoga? What is Buddhi Yoga? Application of the Sankhya Yoga. How the Jiva Brahman is also belonging to Krishna, Jada Brahman also belongs to Krishna. Then how everything should be utilized in the service of Krishna, that is known as Vijnanam. So Jnanam is Sankhya, Vijnanam is Yoga, Buddhi Yoga. So Sankhya and Buddhi Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, both I'm going to teach you in full. Krishna says, I'm going to explain to you in full. Yad gyatva neham bhuvonyat. After telling this, After knowing this, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Yajgyatva neham bhuyonyaj. After knowing this, further anything, bhuyonyahanyada, gyatavyam avashishyate. There is nothing, anything more to be known. Very clearly, Krishna says, after knowing this, you don't require anything to be known. So the purpose, Srila Prabhupada says, complete knowledge includes knowledge of the phenomenal world, the spirit behind it, and the source of both of them. This is transcendental knowledge. The Lord wants to explain the above mentioned system of knowledge because Arjuna is Krishna's confidential devotee and friend. So now just see the qualification to this knowledge has been explained in the purport. Already Krishna in the 4th chapter, Krishna has told, Bhaktosi me sakha cheti, you are my bhaktaha, you are my sakha. Because you are my bhakta, you are my sakha, that is why I am giving this knowledge to you. To attain knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, one should be first a bhakta. Who is a bhakta? Who loves to chant the holy name of Krishna is bhakta. Simple. How will you define who is a bhakta? Who loves to chant his name. One who does not like to chant his name, how can he be called as a bhakta? You will say, no, I read every day Bhagavad Gita. I don't have time to chant. That means you don't have love to chant. You don't have time, you don't have love, then how can you can call yourself a bhakta? So that is why here it is said, Bhakto sime sakha cheti. Bhakta. Even if suppose somebody doesn't have time to chant, he should have faith in chanting. Srila Prabhupada in one purport he says, suppose it's like that, the person doesn't have time to chant. No problem, Prabhupada says. At least he has faith in chanting. When he has faith in chanting, Krishna makes the arrangement that he can start chanting. But that doesn't mean that we don't try to chant. Now just imagine if a person has faith in chanting, but he doesn't try out to chant, then just that the faith is not enough. He has to try to chant. He has faith in chanting. So here it is given. Complete knowledge can be achieved only by the devotee of the Lord or disciplic succession directly from the Lord. So both the things. He's a devotee, then he gets the knowledge, or from the disciplic succession, he is trained to become a devotee. One is because he has done something in the past, he has got that qualification to directly have love for Krishna. And one is he's trained to get the qualification. Therefore, one should be intelligent enough to know the source of all the knowledge. Who is the cause of all the causes? And the only object for meditation in all the types of yoga practice, when the cause of all the causes becomes known, then everything knowable becomes known and nothing remains unknown. So what is that knowledge? To know who is the cause. That is the knowledge. To the source, who is the source of everything. That is knowledge. 6 artistic philosophies, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, then you have Sankhya, Karma Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. Even those sages also who gave these all artistic philosophies, systems of philosophies, artistic philosophies. Gautam, Kannada, Kapila, then you have Patanjali, Jaimini, Vyasa. Even initially Vyasa gave an artistic philosophy where the source of all is Brahman. That the artistic philosophy came because they could not understand the source. Like in Nyaya, the source is atom. In Vaisheshika, the source is a molecule. In Sankhya, the source is a nature. In Yoga, Patanjali Yoga, the source is the Paramatma. imaginary Paramatma. And then you have in Karma Mimamsa, the source or the cause of everything is your own karma. And the last one, which was Uttara Mimamsa, though atheistic, but now slowly Brahman philosophy has been introduced. Brahman, one of the feature of Lord. But then again, this Brahman is subordinate to Krishna. That knowledge came after Bhagavatam evolved. Same Vyasa writes Bhagavatam. Same Vyasa gives Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas. Narada visits and tells. Brahman is same Krishna. You have not described Krishna to the fullest. Though Vyasa is a literary incarnation of Krishna, initially he starts with Uttara Mimamsa, and then it so happens that when Narada speaks Narada Bhakti Sutra, he speaks about bhakti. So bhakti is the application of the knowledge and understanding who is the source, mean application and who is the source. So atheistic philosophies emerged, and then came the Bhagavata Dharma. So Bhagavata Dharma speaks about who is the source of everything. There is a person. It is complete personal knowledge. It is not impersonal. It is personal knowledge. Impersonal knowledge where all these impersonal, where the Lord's personality is not understood. That was atheistic, completely atheistic. On top of that, there was impersonal jnana. Lord is a person. He provides everything. He is the cause of all the causes. So in this way, the Vedas say, Kasminti Bhagavato Bhagavo Avidyate Sarvam Idam Vigyadam Bhagavati. Kasminu Bhagavo Vidyate. Kasminu Bhagavo Vidyate. So whoever has knowledge of Krishna, Kasminu Bhagavati Vidyate, Bhagavo Vidyate, Sarvamidam Vigyanam Bhavati. Whoever has knowledge of Krishna, he has knowledge of everything. That's the glory of Krishna. You don't have to know anything separately. Everything is known by knowing Krishna to the fullest. Just know Krishna, you know everything. Kasminno Bhagavo Vidyate. You should attempt to know Krishna. So when we say how to know Krishna, by service, by chanting. The more we chant, Krishna reveals himself. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te dadami buddhi. I give that knowledge. To whom? Tesham satatayuktanam. Whoever is going on chanting my name, I give him that intelligence. Sarvam idam vigyanam bhavati, vigyatam bhavati. For him, I give him the special intelligence. Whenever, whatever has to be known, Krishna gives the knowledge. So more than jnanam, it is actually vijnanam. Jnanam is there, but vijnanam is more important. Just knowing jnanam is not it is not perfection. Jnanam means understanding spirit, understanding the matter, understanding the cause of both. But just by having that, it's not going to lead to perfection. Okay, cause of everything is Krishna, but then you have to apply the same knowledge. Until unless we apply the knowledge and use everything in Krishna's service. That is how in Narada Pancharatra, it is for 5 nights. Lord Shiva speaks about the 5 nights. Lord Shiva speaks about about using everything in Krishna's service. Narada Pancharatra. How to use everything in Krishna's service. Even yourself, even the matter, even the things around us. So Krishna says, I am giving you all this knowledge. I am going to, in this chapter, what we are going to have, or you can say from this chapter, what we are going to have is not only Jnanam, not only Sankhya, but also Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is also known as Karma Yoga. For having Buddhi, For application of the buddhi, that is for application, you should have buddhi. And the same buddhi is actually karma yoga. It's not just karma yoga. Buddhi yoga, karma yoga, sankhya yoga, jnana yoga. The sankhya yoga, jnana yoga is one term. Buddhi yoga, karma yoga, which fructifies to bhakti yoga, all these three comes in one term. Now Krishna starts with, then the count can come. How many are there who knows this? And Krishna says, or who like to know this? I am ready to give this knowledge. But how many will take it up? And that too, the most serious people who will take it up. How many are there? What is their count? I am ready to give the knowledge. Like satsang program happens. How many really come? Every time there is an excuse. Oh, Sunday I cannot come. And what Sunday you cannot come? Saturday I cannot come. Weekdays I cannot come. Being near, we say we cannot come. Just having a family of 2-3 people, so we can say we don't want to come. That means knowledge is distributed, but I don't have the eagerness to go and get the knowledge. I don't have the eagerness to go and serve in the temple. So that is my mistake, isn't it? But somebody can say it is not my mistake. It is Krishna has already told. Krishna is ready to give the knowledge, but there will be only few who will take it up, because karma pash is not so easy to come out. A small thing is enough. A small cooking, 2-3 items cooking will take hours and hours. Why today is Sunday? Everybody are at home. Then what is this? What is this? Why everybody are put home? That doesn't mean that you have to just spend your time uselessly. You can make hundreds of items, but you have to be smart enough to manage the time. Excuses are many. Many excuses come on the way. But then if the inclination is there, way is there. We have read this. Where there is will, there is way. But where there is no will, there will be no way. So Krishna says, like this, there are different types of people. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatav api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvatah. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Among thousands, one may start thinking. Or start endeavoring for perfection. That is how the Jnana Yoga starts. Starts thinking, who am I? At least a thought process has started. And of those who have achieved perfection, at least he's interested now. He's not more interested in karma, just karma. He is interested in the Jnana now. His now thought process has started. That who am I? Is eager to understand that. So out of 1,000, every 1,000, there will be one person who will be interested in knowing the truth. And among like this thousands, every 1,000 you remove one person. Like that you make a group of another 1,000. These thousands are those who are no more interested in the fruitive activities, but they are more interested in the knowledge. But then among those thousands, one person will know me in truth. That means he starts serving. And then Krishna Kripa is bestowed on that person to know him in truth. That means among how many? 10 lakhs? 1,000 into 1,000. Among 10 lakhs, one person will become a sincere devotee. Among 1,000 will be eager to hear or learn whatever. Will be attending the class, everything, but will not take it up so seriously. He'll come, he will hear, he will do some kirtan, and all those things will happen. But there will be one among those thousands. That means among 10 lakhs, there will be one person who will really take up the process, not just hear and then go and wash it off. एक कान से लिया, एक कान से छोड़ दिया, नहीं. He will apply it in his life. And when he starts applying in his life, the same process which has been recommended by our acharyas, like sadhana bhakti, has been given by our acharyas. The sadhana bhakti has a process. We just cannot do what comes in the mind. We have to do in the way our acharyas want us to do. Acharyas know about this rice. We know we are like a compared to the rice. How much water to be put in this rice? Our acharyas know. So our acharyas have given a very systematic planning about our day. What time to wake up, what to do after waking up, and how many rounds to chant, how to open the deities of the Lord, how to cook for the Lord, the way to honor the prasadam of Lord. So in this way, there is a nice schedule which has been given. So nice schedule has been given by the Lord. So we have to just follow that schedule. If we follow the schedule given by our acharyas for attaining Krishna consciousness, that is enough. That is enough to progress in devotional service. If we follow the path. But who are ready to take it up? There will be only few. Among 10 lakhs, one will endeavor to take up this sadhana bhakti. Then again in that also there is, then again among them again at least he start. So when is he going to reach? When is he going to attain the perfection? It all depends on his sadhana. It all depends on his sadhana. So in this way, Krishna has given a wonderful count. There are several grades of men. Somebody will read? Shilpa Mataji, you read? Hare Krishna. Aruna, you read? Shilpa is unable to mute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shilpa has.
Okay.
Read.
Mataji, you have to read the. Mataji, read the verse also.
Read the purport, I don't know. Read the purport.
Okay. There are various grades of men, and out of many thousands, one may sufficiently interested in transcendental realization to try to know what is the self, what is the body, and what is the absolute truth. Generally, mankind is simply engaged in animal propensities, namely eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, and hardly anyone is interested in transcendental knowledge. The first 6 chapters of the Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and discrimination of the self from matter. However, Krishna can only be known by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna. Although the greatest of the impersonalists, Sripada Shankaracharya, has admitted in his Gita commentary that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But his followers do not accept Krishna as such, for it is very difficult to know Krishna, even though one has transcendental realization of impersonal Brahman. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non-devotees to know him. Although non-devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy, and the non-devotee class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, path of bhakti is not easy. The so-called path of bhakti practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti may be easy, but when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, Narada Pancharatra, etc., is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. It is not possible for the Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muyanti yat suraya, mam tu vedana kaschana. No one knows me as I am, the Lord says. And if one does know him, then sa mahatma sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, he cannot know Krishna as he is tattvata, even though one is a great scholar or philosopher. Only the pure devotees can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna, in the cause of all causes, in his omnipotence and opulence, and in his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees. He is the last word in Brahman realization, and the devotees alone can realize him as he is. Therefore, it is said, Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyaihi sevon mukheji jivadau swayam eva spurati adha. No one can understand Krishna as he is, but no one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses, but he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. Padma Purana.
Okay. So, Atha Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavid Ghaya Mindri Seva Mukhi Jivadu Swayam Eva Spurtiyataham. What's the meaning of these words? With our own senses, impossible to understand Krishna. But Sevon Mukhi Jivadu. With our mundane senses or mundane intelligence, we can never understand Krishna. The more we have the service attitude to Krishna, it is very easy to understand Krishna. This is the verse which is put. And then how to have that service? Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatrika Vidhi Vinam Ekantika Harer Bharti Utpate Veke. Not just what comes to my mind. No, follow the Vidhi proper. Whatever has been told, follow. Like we have Bhoga mantra. Follow that. When you're offering to the Lord, follow that. Everything has to be followed very properly. Pancharatrika Vidhi Vina. Don't do anything without Pancharatrika Vidhi. Pancharatrika Vidhi states something and we have to follow that. If we follow that, only we can understand. Ekantika Harer Bhakti. I will do what comes to my mind. It is not bhakti. Bhakti is not a sentimental process. Bhakti is a scientific. In science also we have to learn. Na? So bhakti is a science which has to be practiced. Bhakti is a science which has to be practiced under the guidance of an expert scientist. Simple, expert teacher. So we have to follow the Guru Shishya Parampara very nicely. Our teacher knows how much strength we have. And accordingly, our teacher has designed a process for us. Srila Prabhupada, who is a preeminent Shiksha Guru for the entire ISKCON, he knows how much we can do. And accordingly, he has given us a process. every day morning. That is why that process can be understood only when we cannot discuss in this class. That's why every alternate Saturdays when we have the DC program, devotee care program, in that you should join. Those who are not joining, start joining and start learning. Or we will have the knowledge, but we cannot transform ourselves till we don't apply that knowledge. So for this alternate Saturday, second Saturday, fourth Saturday classes, contact Aruna Mataji and you can give her your name and she can add you in the group. Only by doing that, only we can understand, not that what comes to my mind. I have been hearing so many years, but why the transformation is not there? Because yet I have not put that in the practice. Practically, like 10 years, I may be hearing Bhagavad Gita. 6 years, I may be hearing Bhagavad Gita. Why the transformation is yet not there? Because application is not there. Sevon mukhahi jivado swayam eva. Then you will say, no, I give donations sometimes. That is nice, that is fine. That is why still you are in the process. But it's not advanced in the process. You may say, I'm doing 1 or 2 rounds on the way when I go to office. That's also good. But then to advance, this is not enough. To advance in devotion service, there is a process which has to be, and there's a way to wake up, there is a way to do everything. Okay, so here we'll start. Any doubts? No doubts? Hare Krishna.